Welcome back to Amman Jordan, the backdrop and host for the FIBA Women's Asia Cup 2021's day number 3, the finale of group play here in Group B. We've got the Philippines taking on Chinese Taipei. They are playing for a final spot in a play-in game for the semifinals, in which they will face Korea. This is the slate of the games played prior to this one. Of course, it is Japan that slides past Korea, New Zealand blowing India out, and then Australia, the latest to be victorious. As far as Group B goes, you're looking at China on top. They sealed that, sending Australia back with a loss, and then Chinese Taipei and Philippines here going toe-to-toe for, like I said, an appearance for a play-in game for the semifinals. Desmina Barton alongside Siobhan Pryor, the former Great Britain national player. Siobhan, these two teams are seeking their first victory of the tournament. And one thing the Gilas Filipinas brings is a lot of heart.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of heart from them. No matter what the scores, they have been on the end of some big losses. China, they lost 143-52 to Australia, 120-56, but they keep fighting. Their coach says they are prideful and they never ever give up, and that's something that defines their team. So I'm sure we will see them come out with just as much heart today against Chinese Taipei, who did also have a big loss to China, 124-50. But against Australia, managed to play them really close. They only lost by 11 points, 76-65. So I think they'll come into this contest a little bit more confident just off the back of the comparison of how they both did against Australia. But I think there's all to play for in this game, and I'm excited to see what both teams bring.
For the Philippines, they have a lot of fans in the stands making nearly the 24-hour hike to support this team. They come from a basketball-crazed nation, and they are investing in their women's program, rebranded this team, giving them the nickname Gilas Filipinas. They are led by head coach Patrick Oqueno. And this team has only started working together since September, which is a similar storyline for Chinese Taipei. These two teams, after not playing a lick of basketball for 2 years, are now representing their countries on the biggest stage here at the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. And for certainly Chinese Taipei, we have seen some grit and fight out of them. They had to take on China yesterday, but they opened up with a tough loss to Australia on day one.
Really enjoyed watching them. I just really like their offensive firepower. They're all super skilled. Favorite player here, 55, Peng, coming out. She had a great game against China, 15 points, 3 of 5 from 3. They're just all super skilled. There's a lot of people that can score on that team.
They're led here by Ting Weijin. A lot of familiarity with the team. They took a training camp, a 1-month training camp together, which has allowed for them to gel after all the time away. And before we get going here, let's start with the national anthems. First with the visiting team, the Philippines. A prideful moment there as we now transition to the Chinese Taipei national anthem. those proud Chinese Taipei fans holding that flag up so everybody can see who they are rooting for here today. The officials for the evening have a tall task of calling a clean game. In fact, they do. This is the finale of group play here inside Hamza Hall. The backdrop, of course, the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. Moving forward, like we said, these two teams are competing for position in the qualifying game for the semis. The winner goes there, they will face Korea. The loser will go into a classification game, which is like a do or die of staying in this classification A. The Philippines are looking to do it with this starting five today. Only difference, you'll see Ella Fajardo making her appearance in the starting five lineup, and Franz Kabimbin will come off the bench. But this has been a consistent unit for the Philippines. And in fact, Coach Patrick Oqueno told me he's hoping that Claire Castro, the 6'4" center, will get some more touches inside. He thinks that what makes his team stand out is their heart and their grit. Nobody, he says, has that more than them here in Amman.
Yeah, he's also asked for better ball movement from his team. Like you said, feeding the big. She's been doing a lot of work, Claire Castro, during this tournament.
And Chinese Taipei has her number circled, but this is the starting five. Ling Junling, Liu, and Fong, one of our favorites here during the tournament. These, of course, are the same starting five, the unit that has been doing a majority of the lift for Chinese Taipei since they have been here in Jordan. They are led by Ting Weijin. And like I said, she took this unit to a 1-month training camp, and they currently walk in ranked 34th in the world by FIBA. Their average height is 5'9" and 26 years old.
They're a young team, but they're really exciting to watch offensively. Their ability to break you down on the dribble is really exciting to see, and they can make shots. Even for their short stature, they do a great job making shots in the paint. They're really crafty around the rim. Can't wait to see what they've got for us today against the Philippines.
As we look ahead, Siobhan, what will be the true keys maybe that everybody at home can kind of look at and follow along as they see Chinese Taipei go head-to-head with the Philippines?
I think the Philippines will do well to use Castro inside. That is the height advantage that they do have. Otherwise, quite evenly height distributed. They are quite similar in height across the board, but apart from Claire Castro. So it'll be important for Chinese Taipei to make sure they box out Castro, get her off the boards, but also that they do a good job inside on her, and that the Philippines find Castro inside and get the ball into them. And for Chinese Taipei, they really need to trust what they do well. That's move on offense, attack the player in front of them, get 2 feet in the paint and look to make decisions. And the Philippines really have to guard in the half court well and try and guard against the first step of the Chinese Taipei and stop their player one-on-one defensively.
You see the women getting settled here at mid-court. It is Tian Ling, the center at 22 for Chinese Taipei, getting ready to jump against Claire Castro, the 24-year-old for the Philippines. And Ling, the center at 22 for Chinese Taipei, getting ready to jump against Claire Castro, the 24-year-old for the Philippines. And Castro tips it right into the hands of Chinese Taipei. First take will go ahead and land O-Ting Ling on the free throw line.
Taking it strong is Lin. She's one of the top performers on this team in almost all categories. 46%, she's 6th in the competition for 2-point field goals. 11.5 points she leads. Sorry, 10.5 points, she's 2nd on the team in points. She's also 10th in assists in the competition with 4, so a big part of this team
Fajardo bringing the ball up for the Gilas Filipinas. And a whistle away from the ball, going against the Philippines.
A screen off the board, that'll be the first for Claire Castro.
Feed down low, a little high-low action gets into the hands of Tian Ling.
Really good positioning down low and a great pass by Chiang.
Fajardo surveying, waiting for someone to come to her. Bernardino, the captain and veteran of this squad, has the rock. Creates space, a kiss off the glass, and the Philippines are on the board.
Philippines will be looking for Bernardino to score a lot. She was a little quieter against Australia last night, 8 points only. 17 points against China, though. She can score in a hurry.
And so can Ling. Ting Ling back with 3. Fajardo off the screen of Castro. She drills it. That one counted as 2.
18 years old. Number 5 on the Philippines, not frightened of the big stage.
On the ground goes June, and it's a turnover. Bernardino clears out the left lane. A high-low to Castro, fading away, she gets it!
Great job by Bernardino. That's what coach is asking for, entry into the post.
Li Ho with the answer for 3. And behind the screen, that one is off. The attempt by Panteos. Screaming down court as Pong lays it in on the left.
Makes it look so easy around the basket. She has so many different ways to score.
6-point lead for Chinese Taipei. Bernardino dribbling in, takes her defender, easy 2. Fajardo will pull things out slightly, wait for her teammates to play catch up. And then Castro all alone in the paint, a miss.
She'll be upset with that one. Wide open there.
Li Ho on the other wing, it's off. And a foul that will keep it into Chinese Taipei territory.
Pantejos did a good job boxing out, but you can't hold. She had 2 hands behind her as she was boxing out, and that's what she's been penalized for.
That foul going against Pantejos, her first. Turn and shoot for Li Ho.
Chinese Taipei aren't frightened. They will take quick shots already. 7 fast break points. They're open, they're going to shoot it.
Castro, top of the key, 3-pointer, it's short. On the ground is her teammate going to work. Nabalan to Fajardo. Nabalan again has her hand, Bernardino this time. Bernardino handles, goes baseline. She is confident tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Bernardino, she is a great player for the Philippines. 6 points already for her.
And every time Chinese Taipei has an answer. Liu Ling this go round.
Another 3 on a fast break.
Castro, top of the key once more. That one will go for Battle June in there.
Well, we'll go to the Philippines as directed by the possession arrow. The last couple of times, Castro's found herself out on the point shooting threes, and that's not what the coach asked for. The one time she has sealed down low, Bernardino found her with a great pass and she finished. They need to keep going to that.
The officiating crew taking another look at maybe how this rebound came down. Over the back is
She
June.
had her hands on it first, didn't she? And then Fajardo got involved afterwards.
And Chinese Taipei will huddle and take this time to regroup. A longer look at that shot.
Both teams now talking about what they need to do better. It's only a 5-point margin, so any time you can get with your team to talk about tactics is important. And here we see those long shots, those threes that Castro was taking. Should be much better served inside. The officials are still looking at this here. It looks like Chen got it clean. Fajardo wrestled it out of her hands. If they called a tie-up, it is going to be Philippines' ball. If they called a foul, it's going to be Philippines' ball as well for over the back. So wait to see what the referees have decided.
Patience is the name of the game as our officials work very hard and diligent to make the right call. And you were right with your analysis here, Siobhan. It is Philippines' ball.
Was it a foul is the question. If we see the possession arrow move, it means it was called as a tie-up.
So it was not a foul, that not counted on the board. Shot from the corner seems to be the spot that Chinese Taipei likes in this contest. Swings it again, Pong. You know they're gonna leave her open till she hits one, and then they're gonna be sorry. Great hands fighting for it on the grounds for Fajardo. It will go backcourt, scooped up by Bernardino, one-on-one. Can't square up. Lin slows it down.
Lin, number 12 for Chinese Taipei. She has 2 offensive rebounds already. She does a great job for them.
Wow, a block swooping in Ponteos out of nowhere. Fajardo trying to make a move here. Instead, we run back court. Flaring, flashing, she gets the ball, Isho June.
Great use of speed there. She does have the upper hand on speed on Castro. It's going to be a long night for Castro, chasing her up and down the court, but she has to do the work. That was too wide open on the fast break.
And we have a timeout called here by the Philippines, who find themselves down by 7. Let's go ahead and try and listen in here.
Pagawin natin to. Ang ganda-ganda ng ginagawa natin dito eh. Let's start with that eh, di ba? Oh, nag-i-impatient tayo sa depensa. Taas-taas. Dapat kunyari, kukunin mo to. Eto, kukuha. Pagka may tao dito, or tao dito, kunin mo muna to. Kasi wala naman tao dito. Di ba? Sige. Kung kinuha natin to, kailangan po pumunta dito.
Just a quick look back then, you saw the percentages there, the stats. 3 of 8 for Chinese Taipei from 3, 37%. So they're not shy, they've shot 8 already in this first quarter. Philippines really getting the most success inside. From that lady especially, Afro Bernardino already has 6 points. She's 3 of 4 from 2, 75%.
Kabimbin in the game now for the Philippines. Another ball handler on the court, the feed to Castro. A dribble, turn, shoot, yes!
You need to stick with that. No, just out of a timeout. They have to have the discipline to do that the whole time. Into a zone here for the Philippines. It's like a 2-3.
Shot goes up for Chu. Castro's there for the rebound. Bernardino to Castro, and the foul.
They have to see how much success this is having. You know, Chinese Taipei are really going to struggle if Philippines are disciplined and just keep passing it into Castro.
And so far with the adjustment with Kabimbin in, it seems maybe a stronger passer.
Yeah, she's done a good job of finding her. I think also Castro's placed herself inside. You know, she was a little bit too happy to be on the perimeter before. Someone looks like they've spoken to her about that, and she is doing the work inside to seal and to get good position down low.
Corner shot hits the backboard. Rebound secured. Courtesy Nabalan.
A little bit cold from the three-point line now.
And Chinese Taipei, they went to battle last night against China. In the corner, Nabalan drains it.
And that's the other thing that can happen when you get the ball inside, not necessarily Castro, but everybody drops into defender because she scored twice before, and that leaves the shooters on the outside, Bernardino, open to knock down that 3.
Ling, ball gets stuck. If that's any indicator of the dry spell that Chinese Taipei is feeling from the outside. Ball don't lie.
Wedgie don't lie. 3 of 12 they are now, just 25% from 3. They have the capability as well to get closer to the basket. They're great off the ball. They're great on the ball, all of them. Take anyone off the dribble.
Chinese Taipei led by as many as 7. That lead cut down to 2. Ling's jumper is good.
Great composure from Wen Yulin.
Bernardino in traffic. Someone's got to come help. Kabinbin can't get to it.
Yeah, they just need a little bit of communication there because Nabalan was open. And Castro was actually setting a really good pin and screen for her. They just need to call out that she's open.
Turn, shoot, drain, eating tie. The lead back out to 6. Nabalan to Panteos, takes baseline floater, short. We're moving. Chong has the rock. Directly at Kabinbin. And she will pick up a personal foul.
It's a great defensive play here by Kabinbin. Quick feet to get into the path of the offensive player. She looks a little hurt, but she'll be fine.
Tough as nails.
Tough as nails. Really smart defensive play from her. And her team the ball back.
And as if nothing happened. Bin waiting for the screen. She'll go left. That's the elbow that was just hurting her. Stolen away. Chinese Taipei. Chu gives it up. Ling with the shot. Right on cue.
What a pretty release. Gives her 6 points. 2 of 3 from three-point land.
On the floor, the deck. Han secures the ball for Chinese Taipei. Final 30 seconds in the first. Corner 3, no good. Kabinbin will step out of bounds. Chu drills it. Chu now with 5 points. The lead pushed to 11 for Chinese Taipei. 7 seconds. Kabinbin. Nabalan goes right, straight to the rack. And that game clock will expire. At the end of the first 10 minutes, it is Chinese Taipei 26, the Philippines 15. This game got as close as a bucket, 2 points. But Taipei finding a way to score on the outside to pull away slightly.
Yeah, 86% from two-point land. They've done a great job, mid-range jump shots. Sensibly too, because they did go a bit cold from 3. Making the right choice, changing up the tactics and shot selection. We take a look back here at the best plays of the first quarter. It's Bernardino early for the Philippines. She is their main scorer, averaging 12.5 points, but also 5 rebounds for the smaller guard. This was the great look inside to Castro, and I think once they started to be a little disciplined and keep looking to pass the ball inside to Castro, it caused problems for Chinese Taipei. From the standpoint of Castro scoring, but also she was able to dish it out to shooters. Here she is, one dribble, really nice move, soft finish, soft hands from her. More of that, please, for the Philippines. Will help them close the gap here.
The gap is 11. You see the Philippines and Chinese Taipei. They are fighting for a spot for a matchup with Korea in the qualifying round to the semis. Japan, China, they've already sealed their way there, and they will have 2 days off. The loser of this game will face India in a classification game. Remember, here in the Asia region for FIBA play, there are classification A and classification B. So the team that finishes at the bottom of the 8-team unit here competing in the FIBA Women's Asia Cup will be demoted. And then the winner of the competition in November amongst the Division B will get the promotion.
See that again. Yeah, just the little grab there by Lin. Not bad positioning either. Should have just kept her hands out.
And we'll see Afro Bernardino, a 5'8" forward, and one of the only experienced veterans here with the senior roster at the free throw line. In fact, it was Coach Patrick Okino that talked about missing quite a few members that had commitments in the States.
Yeah, he did. And also, you know, quite a lot of the rosters that we see here in the competition this time round, India the same, have a lot missing in the States. Australia, 9 new debutants for them in senior jerseys. So not dissimilar to the theme that we're seeing across the board here. Lots of new teams, lots of new faces, lots of chances for these players to pull on their senior team jersey and try and impress the coach.
Ponteos here will pick up her second personal. But you can tell the defense just kicked it up a notch for the Philippines.
Yeah, they've come out high energy. You know, I think they had a little spell as well. Here we go again, yeah, in the zone still. This zone is working for them. They're doing all right in this zone. They do just have to be careful of the mid-range shots, because that's what hurt them before. Or the three-point shots as well.
Wee and Chong, the latest to stroke it from 3. Kabinbin to Castillo. Castillo plays for DeSalle University in the States.
She can shoot. She's 50% in the competition from 3.
Kabinbin causing a little havoc there. They're going to call her for the foul.
Put her hands in. Grabbed her arm as well as the ball.
Open look, too easy. And of course, Yaon Han makes them pay for Chinese Taipei.
Really high percentage mid-range shooters, Chinese Taipei.
Ponteos. Kabinbin with 2 seconds. She's got to shoot it. She does, a fadeaway. And off to the races we go. Again, Chinese Taipei loves that corner. Tai's shot is a miss, but don't worry, she gets the board. Reset, restart, rebound. Lang. 2 points for Tien Lang.
Great job on the boards by Lin. She averages 7, which is a team high. Second in the team on rebounds, so no surprise there.
Bernardino, hard to the rack. And it seems that overnight, the fans from the Philippines have grown. I feel like they're trickling in as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, we've got a flag up there in the stands now.
Both Chinese Taipei flag and the Philippines. This is probably the largest supporter sections we've seen
Yeah, I would say so. We saw a few Australian fans in the previous game. This is definitely the most that we've seen so far for any one country.
9 points for Bernardino. Enough time to set up. And the rebound.
She was too wide open there.
There's such thing as too much time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The attacks keep coming from this Filipino squad who's trying to close the gap.
Great rebound by Bernardino. She gets clattered down the other end on the fast break, and she's right back, grabbing a defensive board for her team.
Mateos will take it up herself, up and under. 3-point opportunity. Janine Panteos.
Nice finish with the inside hand. She is capable of going off offensively. Against Australia, she had 13 points, 3 of 9 from 3. She averages 10 a game, which is second on the team to Bernardino. So she is one of the go-to scorers.
Something her team can rally around here. Ling, the captain for this Chinese Taipei team, wearing 11 here. Inside feed. Long passes it out. Working around the horn. Trying to catch the Philippines off in their transition.
Another good defensive stand there by the Philippines. Sticking to this zone.
Tonko picks up her dribble. Panteos, right to Castro, double teamed instantly. The loose ball.
You just want to see her just put it over her head. She's close enough there where she can just go up. She doesn't need to put it on the floor. Good to see that they're looking to get it into her still.
Blocked down on the box. Afro Bernardino. Not only is she cleaning up on the boards and scoring, she's showing us up her block status.
She caught that one.
And a travel as she took a few too many steps.
Let's see a replay of this one, please. Meets it with 2 hands, perfectly straight up. That's a textbook block by Bernardino.
I wonder if she played any volleyball too.
Yeah, it looked like a, what do they call it? A kill at the net.
Castro, ball gets swiped out of her hands. Ling on the floor. Somehow it finds its way into a Chinese Taipei jersey. And it's a foul against Shiye Liu.
I think this looks a little worse than it was by Lin. She just ripped the ball through. You just watch it here. She does just rip the ball through. I'm not actually sure she catches Tonko at all on the face, to be honest. It looks like she hits air, but when your face happens to be at elbow height, there's not much the offensive player can do, but the referees do call the foul, and they're actually going to go and check and see if this was excessive, because they called it a regular foul. From this angle, it doesn't look like she actually makes contact. So we'll see the referees deem this foul to be, or even technical foul for Tonko for... Oh, no, I think she does catch it, does she? Yeah, catches her in the cheek. Filipino crowd making a lot of noise. And it is called unsportsmanlike, so excessive force, excessive contact there. Violin.
The two teams will go to their benches. Take a few moments here for a timeout. Midway through the second, it is Chinese Taipei that leads by 12. Let's try and listen in here.
你们要上去干架，我都会听你们，我绝对听你们。但这种不行，就太明显，就是在生气、出气，是不行的。这样懂吗？因为你是赢的球，所以你自己的情绪要控制好。打绝对不是在这个 time 上打。中间他的区域，他就守一个2、3，中间这么大弯，打一个2号，简单一个地板送，直接就 inside outside in。我的中锋在这个下面，你要卡到这个 weak side 的球去牵制这个防守进来，我的外围才今天的外线还不错啊。中锋在里面牵制，这个一进到里面一个简单的地板进去，或是下到2个 corner， 今天2个底线都不错啊。球要进去再出来 inside outside， 要果断一点啊。
Just a quick look back at some of the most recent plays. They have caught fire again, Chinese Taipei. Shooting the ball well again now. They've raised their percentage to 26% from 3, 5 of 19. It's still quite low, but better than it was. We've seen an injection of force, a little spark from Pontejos as well for the Philippines.
Andrea Tonko hits the first free throw. And the second, that pulls the game within single digits.
For first points of the game for Tonko.
Bernardino to Castro. This is the equation they like. And now Castro gets a set of free throws.
She got away with a little hook there. But does a good job of protecting the ball, going up strong. More success for the Philippines by putting it inside there.
Beautiful shot. Castro has a stroke.
She does. She has really good hands, really nice hands around the rim. She's powerful, but then she's got this nice soft touch.
And just 24 years old. Standing at 6'4". I had to go talk to her before the game a couple days ago to confirm her height on the FIBA website. It had it listed as 5'6", and that just did not feel right.
She is nearly a foot taller than that, in fact.
Lee Shou-jun rebounding here for Chinese Taipei. The third team foul against the Philippines, and they'll call it while she was shooting. June, 28 years old, the center on this Chinese Taipei squad. Makes them both. Tonko, running point for Philippines. Monteo's trying to get it to Castro. She points to where she wants it. It will stay.
Just a little bit of experience there. It looks like, you know, they're doing the right thing and trying to get it in, but they should have passed it to the wing first. Would have been a better angle for the pass. It's a really tough angle from the point all the way down to the block there.
Navalon, and a foul they catch. Fong comes too hard in.
A hand straight up to take responsibility for that foul.
And we will see the Philippines shoot free throws the rest of the way as we're in the bonus. Chinese Taipei has over 5 team fouls.
So first foul, Hong. She has been quiet today. Only 2 points so far. The last game against China, she had 15. 60% from 3. 8 points versus Australia as well in the first game, so expect her to heat up.
And here, Bernardino is gonna send June to the free throw line.
So second foul as well. Can't just jump at players when they're on the 3-point line. They're either gonna shot fake and go around you, or draw you into a shooting foul. To break down your stats, the closer you get to a shooter, your center of gravity low, and allows you to defend and react to whatever the offensive player does when you're late closing out like that.
One for 3. Tonko gives it up to Pontejos. Right back, goes baseline, feed to Castro. Then Bernardino, wow, the putback on the weak side, a beautiful one from Afro Bernardino.
Great job taking advantage of the fact that everyone was distracted by Castro. She strolled in on the weak side for that offensive rebound.
Ling from 3, it's off. We're rolling though with Tanko. Ponteos deep, no go.
A little too early in the shot clock. They could have done with the score then. He's trying to look to get it inside.
Ling waiting for it. And Nabala telling them to slow down. Let's take our time.
Make the most of these times when you get a stop.
Backdoor cut was there.
It's not what you want to do. Turn the ball over. It's so hard to get stops. You need to capitalize on them. That's 2 stops they've got and not a score at the other end.
Jumper too easy on the baseline there for Isho Jun.
6 points for her. 5 rebounds and 2 assists as well.
Ponteos shot is a miss, and we're rolling with Chinese Taipei. And really, the defense deciding not to go out as we see a swoop in from June.
Great offensive rebound by Pong. An assist for her there. Philippines have to get a good shot here. 2 wing threes early in the shot clock. Not what you want at this stage in the game.
Bernardino. Blown up and off Tonko.
It's good awareness by Tonko to get that up before the shot clock expired. Just even getting it on the rim there has given her team a chance at another shot clock.
Coach Patrick Aquino telling his team where he wants them. Fresh shot clock. And bounding in here is Ka Yabyab. But first, we're going to have a timeout. The Philippines down by 12 with 1:37 to play in the first half. You are watching the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. This is Group B, the finale of Group B. The winner goes on to match Korea in the qualification game to the semifinals. The loser will take on India in the classification game.
Big, LeBron, go here or go here, dito lang. Ito, Claro. April up.
Ikaw yung ako.
Pag nagsona, Burak. Pag nagsona, nakita niya, nag-zone, nag-2-3. Pala, luminya kayo lahat dito. Luminya lahat. Clear lang dito.
That's where they do well when they get it inside. Something good always happens. Just in the last few offenses though, the Philippines, a couple of early shots, a turnover. They found themselves in a hole again. They've got to dig themselves out of. 12 points behind.
Castro gets the toss in from Bernardino, and just like that, they've got some magic.
You see, straight out of a timeout, it's obviously what they're being instructed to do. They have to be able to do that on their own.
Ling baseline, she's been doing it all night. The captain.
That is one of the prettiest shots I've ever seen. So smooth, 10 points for her. 11 points, sorry, that was a 3.
Castillo. Pong with the rock. Working it around to Liho. One and done this trip for Chinese Taipei. A feed again to Castro. She's met with the tall hands of June. Pong. Feed is pretty.
Really pretty feed. She is an offensive weapon. And if they count that as a pass, which I'm not sure it was, but I think it was, Bernardino's third foul, she takes a seat. If they do count it as a pass, when Tai hopefully scores these foul shots, Pong will be rewarded with an assist, even though she didn't score because she was fouled and still created the score for her teammate on the foul line.
"17 seconds left in the second. Prado picks it up. She's in trouble. Fajardo with the ball. Castellano. Nowhere to go, and the Philippines can't get it up in time. The buzzer will go off, and after the first half of play, it is, of course, Chinese Taipei who is out in front, 45-30, a 15-point advantage for the women from Chinese Taipei. And Coach Patrick Okino will be scratching his head as he tries to find a way to crawl back into this one.
I think when the Philippines get it inside, good things happen. I think that's probably what they're going to be talking about, just a little bit of discipline. As we look here, the rebounding battle is even. It's the assists there that are in the favor of Chinese Taipei, and obviously that's because they're also hitting a high percentage of their twos as well. You can only get an assist if the person you pass to scores. So let's look at some of the scores from the first half. Bernardino really started the Philippines off, as we knew she would. She has 11 points personal. Top scorer for her team at the half. Not only is she a scorer, she's a great facilitator as well. She has 3 assists. And for her size, is a phenomenal rebounding guard. She has 6 rebounds to go with those 3 assists and those 11 points. She also averages 5 rebounds. Really nice to see Claire Castro getting involved in the game as well. Trying to dominate the inside, using her size well. Really, the shooting of this lady here, Wen Yu Lin. Such a nice stroke from the number 9 from Chinese Taipei. Couple of special moments for Pontejos here in the first half as well. Turns the corner quickly, takes the contact, uses the inside hand to flip it up and in. And that's what we were talking about earlier. That was the second offensive rebound for Bernardino. Great rebounding guard. Frightened to get in there amongst the trees and grab those rebounds down. And although we see Pong, number 55 there, a little bit quiet herself offensively from a scoring perspective, she does have 4 assists. She's getting her teammates involved. Grabbing rebounds too, another nice assist there from Pong. Great stroke as well from number 9, the captain, to keep them ahead in this game.
Look at the top 5 plays from yesterday, day number 2. Lee finds the lane. The C's part.
And a beautiful hesitation, another heads-up play. Valuable experience for these players right here.
Deep 3 drops
from the sideline.
Mowdy splits her defender, shakes and bakes. A beautiful 2 for Stephanie Mowdy. Mowdy down low. Spinning off her opponent. Okoe showing some skill on the baseline.
Nice move from Okoe. Very experienced players. A lot of them play in the WNBL in Australia, but they haven't played together on a team before.
Spin move good. The take for the Filipinas. Cuts the lead to 10.
We have walked this land for a long time. We know how far we've gone, and we're sure of how far we can go. Unity is not just a word here. It's not just a spirit in this sport. It's the way we all move. We are proud of our art, country, family, language, and culture. We are united by basketball.
Welcome to FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022.
And that's what it's all about. These teams are vying for positioning and an invite to a qualifying tournament on their way to a FIBA 2022 World Cup appearance. So let's take a look at the top scorers first with the visiting team. the Philippines. Of course, it's Bernardino, their captain.
She leads with 11. You're getting used to seeing how versatile of a scorer she is. She's a lot taller than she is as well, able to score over taller players using her strength inside. Really good body balance, really strong. She takes her time, she plays at her own pace as well. Here she's surveying the situation before she crosses over to her left and then comes back to the right to finish. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists and 1 steal for her.
And for the other side, Chinese Taipei, it's number 9, Wen Yoling, putting on a clinic from beyond the arc.
50%, a clinic is right. She is 3 of 6. 11 points for her team. And they'll be happy to see that, because up to this point in the competition, she has only averaged 3 points. It's been a little bit quiet, but not tonight. She is feeling it, she's stroking it. Beautiful release. Nice and smooth in rhythm. Rarely hits the rim, often just finds the bottom of the net. Beautiful.
Much more action to come. Stay where you are. We're going to take a quick break here at the half, and we'll return with the third quarter. Philippines, Chinese Taipei. More coming your way in just a moment.
Welcome back. We are in Amman, Jordan, the beautiful backdrop of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup 2021. Right now you are watching the last game of the day between Chinese Taipei and the Philippines. Chinese Taipei are currently ahead by 15 points. They lead 45-30. They've really done it off the back of a really good shooting display, especially from two-point land. 66% they're shooting right now from two-point range, as opposed to the 50% from the Philippines. See the rebounds as well there for the Philippines, 21 rebounds, 7 assists. they'll be looking to do a better job in this half of exploiting their size inside, I think. Raising the level of their percentages, hopefully to match those of Chinese Taipei.
If you were just joining us, I want to welcome you back to Amman, Jordan. Of course, this is the FIBA Women's Asia Cup 2021. It is halftime. You see what Bernardino and her team has been able to do. However, they trail by 15. This is day number 3, so the finale of group play. This is Group B, the final game of the night. We call it dessert here inside Hamza Hall. Of course, I'm Deswina Barton. My partner, Siobhan Pryor, the former Great Britain national player. She is offering all the great analyst work tonight and all the way throughout the tournament. And if you are a fan of women's basketball, I want to invite you now. This is an exclusive. Go check out our social media channels. This is a historic tournament. There's a lot going on away from the court. We get to see some personality, behind the scenes photos, videos, reactions, press conferences, babies, animals, greetings, surprises, you name it. Our social media team is covering it all on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The handles are at FIBA Asia Cup Women. Go give them a follow, like right now. I promise you won't be disappointed, because while all the action takes place on the court, a lot of the content created sometimes comes away from the court, and we can all appreciate the stories that unfold. Here right now, though, it is the Gilas Filipinas taking on Chinese Taipei. Both teams walk in having not won a contest yet, but they are playing to ultimately meet Korea tomorrow in the qualification to the semifinals game. That is at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Japan and China have already sealed their semifinals appearance, so they will have tomorrow off as well as Friday. Friday is an off day for everybody. Heal up before the semifinals begin Saturday. And then we, of course, will have the bronze medal game and the championship on Sunday, October 3rd, all here in Amman, Jordan.
Yeah, I follow all those social media channels, and you're right, it's really the stories that make these tournaments. It's the stories that make sport, isn't it? Another one that, really nice one that caught my eye was during the national anthem, there are 4 players on the Philippines team that make a salute sign. With a little bit of digging, I found out that's because they're soldiers in their home country. That is the way they respect their nation, their flag, their national anthem, by standing to attention during their national anthem. So some amazing women. We have some amazing athletes as well, but amazing people. So go follow those social media accounts just to find those little tidbits of information that let you into the life of the people we have playing at this tournament.
$15 points is the separation that Ponteos and her team will try to close in on. As you see the many fans here in attendance. Chinese Taipei well represented as well. And the competition has been welcome. These two teams hadn't played together at the senior level in 2 years. Now they're doing it in a safe environment here in Amman, Jordan. FIBA's taken all the precautions and created bubbles to allow for this competition to happen. Siobhan and I are very happy to be here. As we know, all the players are excited to be back around the game, something they've missed for so long.
So exciting just to be in here and seeing the passion, the hard work, the sweat, the grit. Players like this, Afro Bernardino, does all of that and more for her team.
And she heads to the free throw line. 25-year-old forward, the experienced vet on this Filipino team. Nothing but net. She has 12 points. Coach Patrick Okino leading this team of basketball superstars, just like Bernardino. Gets her own rebound, makes it an even more point productive play. 3 points for Bernardino out of the break.
That is not a good sign for Chinese Taipei. You should never let someone who shoots the free throw get their own rebound.
Caught them sleeping. Ling baseline, she's been stroking it all day. I'm not surprised. Another 2 for Ling.
Carries on right where she left off. 13 points now.
Bernardino. Chong guarding her tightly. Conteos not aware of the shot clock.
Good defensive stance by Chinese Taipei. Of course, the Philippines to come up scoreless again. Change this zone, they're in a 1-3-1 now.
Chong from 3 gets knocked. And she will get to shoot all 3 from the charity stripe.
3-1, they're packing the middle. They've got Bernardino on the back, which I can tell you from experience is the worst position on a 1-3-1 zone. You are tasked with running the baseline from corner to corner. It is tiring work. Takes the first one. Chen, number 6 for Chinese Taipei. That's her 5th point of the contest. Misses the second. She will have another. She was fouled on a 3-point shot. Goes down 2 of 3 from the line for Chen.
Tonko, back running point for the Philippines. The Philippines and their federation, pretty young compared to the juggernauts here in China, Japan, Australia competing. So each one of these games is so important in gaining that experience. They want to make sure they are one of the teams that stays in this Division A tournament.
The only way they can build their tradition as a basketball nation, playing against the best teams in their region. And that's something that the coach of India, Zoran Visic, has said so many times. They want to stay in Division A, as will both of these teams.
If they win.
If they win. Exactly, and that is what they are all fighting so hard for.
And it is hard to come back when Yo Ling is hitting 2s and 3s, and you combine a couple lost possessions with turnovers. The lead has now grown. 19 points for Chinese Taipei. Bernardino, her own tip back.
16 points for Lin as well. The 9 Chinese Taipei. Fantastic display of shooting from her 4 of 7 from behind the arc.
Han to Ling again. Wu-Ting Ling this time.
Shooting practice out here.
Everyone's getting real comfortable with these baskets. Day number 3, Siobhan. %28 here from 3-point range.
You know, they did have a cold spell in the first half. It just feels like every time they shoot, it goes in. Stats don't lie, people. 28% still.
Clarin makes her first appearance in the game. Up to Castillo. Clarin's parents are actually the ones that surprised her here in Amman, Jordan. Traveling all the way from the Philippines. There is a video on social media that you will want to see of that emotional reunion.
Yeah, I caught her after the game yesterday. Said to her it was really nice to see that your parents could come.
Wow! The strength and agility displayed right there. She's got an and one opportunity.
Lean thinks she went up straight. Little bit leaning forward. She jumped into Bernardino slightly. No matter, Bernardino took the contact, finished anyway.
You were saying, though, you ran into Clarin yesterday?
Yeah, after the game, and I was just saying, you know, it's really nice to see the fans in the stands, and I understand your parents are here, and she was so pleased and grateful that they could be here to watch her play for her country.
And you played for, obviously, Great Britain. Can you speak to what it takes to play at this level? What type of athlete commitment, time? What does that look like to give perspective to people at home? They just get to see the finished product here.
Yeah, they do. They get to see the finished product, but there's hours that go in. All of these women, every single day, you know, at least 4 hours, some form of physical exercise, whether that's skills, team practice, weights, conditioning, at least 4 hours a day. And then really it's things like, you know, sleep patterns, making sure you're in bed early, turning off your phone at, you know, 9 p.m. You don't want to see blue light at least an hour before you go to bed. Taking care of your diet, making sure you're drinking water. Not being able to go out with friends to social events sometimes if you've got games the next day. A lot of sacrifice these women make in their daily lives so that they can pull on their national team jersey. It isn't just the hours in the gym, it's everything around it as well. Lots of athletes now also starting to spend time and working on their mental approach to the game. It is really a 360 approach these days. You have to be in control every part of your performance, and it's really just a lifestyle for these women, day in, day out.
It is a full-time job, and wow, we know that Erting Chu has been working on that shot for a long time to be able to pull it off on this stage. Bernardino showing off that heart that this Filipino team has. Clarin's shot is a putback by Bernardino. They created for one another.
She is always in and around the boards. Bernardino, an unbelievable rebounding guard. She has 5 offensive rebounds, 9 rebounds and 20 points. One more rebound for Bernardino gets her a double-double.
Leo in traffic, so she'll give it to her teammate there, Yaon Han. Did you say one more rebound gets her a double-double?
She has 20 points and 9 rebounds, 5 offensive and 4 defensive.
All right, Bernardino, pressure's on.
She has 3 minutes left here and a whole nother quarter to do it.
jumper impacted the presence of Ling. Ling cut. Out to her teammate Leo. And that time, the dirty work comes from the outside.
Continue to fire from 3, Chinese Taipei. Confident in their ability from beyond the arc.
Prado straight to the rack. And this Chinese Taipei team started off causing some issues for Australia. 11-point game there. China, then in one way or another, brought them back to reality. And here they are making their mark on their way to sealing a game against Korea tomorrow at 1 p.m. So short turnaround. Siobhan, as these teams now would have been playing 4 games in a row.
Yeah, 4 games in 4 days, and that's what we were just literally talking about, the lifestyle. If they take care of themselves, take care of their bodies, make sure they rest, they'll be good to go tomorrow. But it is difficult. We see Bernardino, she works so hard for her team, and the physical impact it can have. You play with such physicality as she does. You see her tapping her calves there. We did see her in one of the games previously taken off with cramps. See, look, 20 points, 9 rebounds there. Make that 21.
For the 25-year-old Afro Bernardino.
She will take a rest. In her place is Nabalan. Also, Kayabyab.
Drive and dish, cross court into the hands of Liho. And this team has just found a great rhythm.
12 of 35 now, crept up to 34% from 3. Trusted their 3-point shot more than I did.
Castro, who was characterized as a goal to get activated here against Chinese Taipei. And another shot clock violation as that ball went in for Claren.
Fortunate. Claren did find the bottom in the net, but it was too late.
3 shot clock violations here for the Philippines in the 3rd quarter.
Old school off the glass.
It's after hours for the bank. I want to remind everybody. Here in Amman time, it is 8:15 p.m. at night. But for June, they made some special exceptions. Final minute of play in the 3rd quarter. You're watching the FIBA Women's Asia Cup Group B.
Castro is putting in the work inside. The guards have just got to have the ability to be able to get it into her. She's working really hard.
Left alone, Liho again. And it's like a broken record.
Shooting clinic, 13 of 36.
What did they say the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome?
This is perfect insanity.
Kai Yab. Give it a whirl. No look pass. Liang miss, but this team continues to crash the boards. For Chinese Taipei, they hand the ball over, and at the end of 3 quarters, they find themselves up by an even larger margin. It's 76-41.
To the much delight of their fans, shaking that flag around. They just caught fire, as we can see here, 35% now, 13 of 37, 70% from 2. Philippines have got to find a way of making these shots a bit more difficult, putting them under some pressure. Let's take a look back at the best plays of the 3rd quarter. This woman right here, Lin, she has been one of the most consistent offensive threats during this game for Chinese Taipei. She is again, she has a total of 19. She's 70% herself from the field, 5 of 8 from 3-point land. 62.5%. 23 efficiency, an unbelievable showing for Wen Yulin. What can we say about Captain Bernardino? She does everything and more for this team. Currently sitting on 22 points. Grabbed herself 9 rebounds, 5 of them offensive. 3 assists and 2 steals and 1 block even to go with that. She has the highest efficiency rating of the game at 28.
4th quarter, final 10 minutes. You're watching FIBA Women's Asia Cup Group B, the finale of all the group action play. And right now it's Chinese Taipei who leads by 35.
That was, I believe, her 10th rebound. She has a double-double, Afro Bernardino, 22 points and 10 rebounds.
Following alone. And the Chinese Taipei fans get out of their seats.
I mean, why not? At this point, I feel like the coach could come on and shoot a few and they go down.
Maybe even the fans too at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Referees, everyone getting involved.
The problem now, you have to look ahead. And can you get the same rhythm going tomorrow?
Really great grab there by Castro. But Cheng taking advantage of how slowly she's getting up the court. I know she's working hard. She's got to work a little bit harder.
So if everything stands as it is, Siobhan, I'm going to make you give us some insight and maybe some predictions into day number 4 of competition. So what we'll see is Korea take
Another 3 goes down, by the way.
And they're going to hope that those keep hitting. But how do you see the matchup going with Korea and Chinese Taipei? The winner will advance on to the semis, but those 2 will clash first tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
It's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to put it out there now. I do think Korea are going to get that game, but interesting because Korea's a very different team to what Chinese Taipei have seen. I mean, China's probably the most similar that they've seen in speed, fast break, and defensive pressure. They aren't as tall, Korea, as China. So that will be in the favor of Chinese Taipei, because they don't have traditional inside players either, like China do. Neither do Korea, so they're pretty well matched up. But if you want my prediction on that one,
I do.
I am going to say a Korea win.
Okay.
That's number 1. me the next one. I don't mind putting myself on the line with these.
So then we go to classification game. So the Philippines, who are on the court right now, their star, Afro Bernardino, and company here, will go up against India tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The winner stays in Class A, which is the top tier here in Asia. The loser will be demoted. What does this one come down to? Or at least maybe give me some of the key factors that, you know, might come into play.
You know, India are a really talented team. They do have a lot more height all around than the Philippines. I really like India. I think we've seen a lot from them. I think they just haven't consistently put together 40 minutes. We've seen them play teams really close in the first half. You know, when they played Japan even. Sorry, Korea. Japan was a little bit of a blowout in that first game, but when they played Korea yesterday, up to the end of the first half, they did a really, really good job, and the margin wasn't that big. They ended up losing big in the end. But it's the second halves and the third quarters, Coach Visic has said really that India struggle with, and it's more because they get fatigued and then the mental errors start setting in rather than anything else. So I know that's something that they want to focus on. But I do think they've got some great players on that team. Lamai is a really good leader, and Pushpa Senthil Kumar has played well in this tournament so far, and Arvind is starting to give them something too, just at the right time. So I'm gonna go with India on that one.
And what seems a little bit strange, and let me know if my observation might be off, but the Philippines, when we saw them the first 2 days, there was just like an energy about them. Maybe it's a little bit of exhaustion setting in, but it just seems to be a miss here tonight against Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, I feel like they've been a little flat. Castro is still doing the work. They do work hard, but I know what you mean.
That heart, that hustle.
Yeah, the heart, the hustle. They are working hard, but I do think that has been missing a little bit today. I don't know why. You know, they have had a tough run of it. They faced China, who are number 7 in the world.
In the
whole world. That was their first game, you know, so introduction to FIBA Women's Asia Cup with a 1-4-3-52 loss. So that's tough to take, and then to brush that off and go against Australia, number 3 in the world. You know, and I know that Australia are missing every one of their team from the Tokyo Olympics. They've got 9 new debutants, but they're still a fantastic team, and that was another hard game for the Philippines as well, 120-56. So, you know, I think it just takes its toll. It's not easy to come out here, play your hardest, and lose heavily. So I just wonder, they're just tiring a little bit.
And it's like a grand slam of a tennis tournament. This is the tournament that is 6 days long, stretched over a whole week. You got to think about the travel in, the time change, getting your body acclimated, testing for COVID, then following the COVID protocols. And when these teams aren't playing, it's a very rigid practice schedule because of the bubbles that are in place. Limited time at the gym, limited practice time, limited pool time, limited out, you know, I don't even know if there is technically outside time scheduled, but everything is you know, monitored and measured to ensure that everyone's safety is top of mind. So we joke about being at the hotel and have limited Wi-Fi. That's probably because everybody there, including the officials and the team members, you know, there's not a whole lot to do with your time. So I think it's funny and unique, and maybe I'd be curious to hear how the teams are spending their time, you know, to make it pass faster. as they stay focused, especially for Japan and China, who have off tomorrow, Thursday, have off Friday, and then jump back into action on Saturday afternoon. So we'll have to definitely check in with them.
Yeah, I mean, the good part about that, about having those 2 days off, is they can take a full practice if they want. You know, sometimes in these tournaments, you do see teams opting out of practices, especially if they have early morning games. They don't want to go to the court in the evening. So 2 days off will definitely be favour for those two teams.
这几天我看那个数据啊，现在助攻的数据最高是中国队，表示什么呢？助攻表示什么呢？他的团队是比较多的，所以团队可能是我分享出去的球，这很重要啊。我们的助攻数很少，最多只是来自于快攻的传球。你的团队的没有啊，都在打自己。加上去。
Back at some of the most recent plays, and they've done a really good job in the last couple of possessions of getting the ball into Castro. They have, then it just becomes a recognition about forcing it and not forcing it, reading the defense. But all credit to the Philippines. They have been trying to exploit that inside, and there is the double-double, not now with 10 rebounds, but with 14 and 24 points. Afril Bernardino, 24 and 14. 33 efficiency, just unbelievable effort from her.
And again, the tight turnaround. Well, the tight turnaround will be for this Chinese Taipei team. The Philippines will play at 7 o'clock tomorrow, so same time they started tonight. But a very different landscape for Chinese Taipei as they come in as the lower seed against the top seed. Technically the second seed in Group A, Korea. Easy bunny for Tian Ling.
Fajardo should have dropped down and played secondary help rotation there. She got caught watching on the perimeter.
Siobhan, we're almost through our 3 full days of group play. I know you got emotional in the Japan and
I did.
The game this morning, but can you tell me what stands out to you most through these 3 full days? Or, you know, away from the game, it could be the bubble, you know, everything we're seeing here in Amman, Jordan.
I'm just really, you know, aside from the basketball, I did get emotional this morning, Japan versus Korea. I just appreciated being able to be here so much and really thankful to the players. You know, I've seen a lot of high-level contests. I've played in some high-level contests as well. But I have never seen 2 teams go at it for 40 minutes, so intense, so physical. And I just really appreciated the athletes and these women for working that hard off the court to be able to provide that level of entertainment for us. I just appreciated it, and I appreciated the passion that they had as well. Just the will to win. It was an amazing game. I did get a little teary. Probably one of the best games I've seen in person.
And you primarily have all your experience in Europe. So to experience what we did between Japan and Korea, is there, you know, anything you've seen? It's just a different style of basketball, even in the States and in the Americas.
Yeah.
We don't see that defensive-minded, you know, hold down pressure for 40 minutes.
You know, the thing that stood out to me the most was the discipline that both teams had. You know, as an athlete, you get given a game plan, you get given scouting reports, you know what the other team's good at, you have to take away their best attributes as a team and as individuals, and the commitment to every part of the game and every clearly scouting report, game plan that both teams had. But every single possession was unbelievable, and the discipline to do it for 40 minutes from first player down to 12th player, whoever came on the court, it was unbelievable to watch. And so unselfish, everything about that, everything about the discipline to do that puts the team first. So yeah, that was the best game that I have seen. But aside from, got sidetracked, aside from watching these amazing athletes on the court, I'm really enjoying just being a part of history here in Jordan. You know, this is the first time the FIBA Women's Asia Cup has been not only just in Jordan, but in Western Asia. I was talking to some of the staff here on the ground a few days ago, and I was informed that actually this is only the third women's major sporting event that has been held in Jordan. 2 previous were soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, women's events, 1 junior and 1 senior, and this is the third. So I just feel privileged to be here, really proud of what FIBA Asia have done here with all of the activations that they put in place around this tournament as well to get young girls involved from Oman, involved in the game, getting to touch a basketball for the first time, play the game, and then come and watch the game at the highest level in their region. Just really humbling to be a part of this.
Beautifully said, Siobhan. Siobhan Pryor, the former Great Britain national team member. She's played basketball her whole life and still will go home and play for university as you are studying.
I'm going back to school, everyone. 34 years young. Not been in school since 2009.
I would say you're in the only club, but you and I are actually both in the same club. Back to school we go.
Master's students.
A nice escape from coursework. And many of these women on the court, this isn't their, I mean, it's not their full-time job to do this.
For some of these nations it will be. For some of the nations it will be, but for a lot of them it won't be. Even if they're at school, like you just said, they have another massive commitment, either to education, to a job. Some of the women that we've seen here are mums, mothers, moms, wherever you're from. You know, there's just so many aspects to these women's lives, so many commitments. Still, they make the time, the sacrifices to play for their country.
You talked a little bit about her world, her rules. Not only is it introducing the game to young girls, but also all the jobs that come along with the game.
Right.
You can pin someone out in this gym and have their job one day.
Right. Have our job.
Yes, but the teams that it takes to put on these contests, the staff, the volunteers, everybody has a role, the TV production crew. It's amazing. I think when I was younger, I wasn't exposed to the full picture.
Neither me.
Now, you can still be a part of the game and not on the court.
Yep. I traveled all the way to Jordan for basketball without playing. It is possible. There's so many programs that not just FIBA Asia, FIBA, it's a global thing. It's one of their pillars that they're really focusing on, FIBA, is women in the game.
Final shot is short. It doesn't matter. Chinese Taipei will seal their ticket to a qualification game against Korea tomorrow at 1 p.m. They defeat the Philippines of the final score 93-52. Meanwhile, we will see the Philippines take on India in the classification game tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. A final stat sheet is in front of you.
It was really just the heavy hitting of the Chinese Taipei. Those percentages, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, from three, it was 36%. They hit 15 threes today. They were also 48% in the end from two. Philippines really had no answer, either offensively or defensively. Better game today by Castro. She had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block. Really positive steps forward for her. I know her coach will be proud. She's been working really hard on her game, but you really have to mention one last time, Afro Bernardino, 24 points, 14 rebounds. You'll see some of her plays in these highlights here. 2 steals, 3 assists. Absolutely unbelievable outing for Afro Bernardino. Here she is, number 3. She did that one just to get her own stats up. Get that offensive rebound in. She had 5 offensive rebounds. Loves to play physical, loves to take the contact. She is only 5'8", guys. 5'8", and she's in there, grabbing rebounds, finishing strong. 5'8" is 172 centimeters if you were metric. 1.7 meters means nothing to me, but feet and inches is my game. All I know is that she should not be getting these rebounds. She should not be able to score over these taller players, and she does such a good job of it. Chinese Taipei, they just kept coming and coming and coming. Three-point land from 2. Some fast break point there. They had 19 of those. 31 points from turnovers. Those turnovers coming in a high number from the Philippines at 26. They had 13 steals, Chinese Taipei, sharing the ball, 33 team assists. A really great performance all round, a great team performance, a great shooting performance. Really deserved the win today, the Chinese Taipei. Disappointing for the Philippines, but a great win for Chinese Taipei as they thank the crowd for coming and supporting them.
And that's a wrap here from Hamza Hall. The final score, 93-52, a 41-point victory for Chinese Taipei. They will land a spot against Korea tomorrow. Philippines taking on India in the classification game. For Siobhan Pryor, I'm Despina Barton. We say goodbye and good night. Day 3 is over. We will see you for more basketball tomorrow.